Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me in the studio today. I have a pile of pants and denim repairs to tackle. So I thought it would be fun to take y'all along and see how I approach each one of these repairs that have been sitting here for way too long. Everyone, I'm the seamstress and pattern maker behind Nicole Studio, and today in the studio I am tackling a bunch of pants repairs. The first repair I have is this very starched pair of khaki pants. This is Texas, y'all. Our gentlemen starch their jeans, and this is a pretty simple repair. The button has broken. It's smashed, and also the hole that the button was in is totally ripped. So my plan is to first use a bit of fusible cut in this exact size and fuse the back of it. Then I'm going to do my little darning stitch all over this hole to close up this hole here. And then that's gonna close the hole, but in order to make it sturdy enough to withstand a new button application, I'm going to put a little scrap of some thicker canvas that's close, matching in color. It's just going on the back. And I know he doesn't care that much because he actually had me insert this several years ago. I worked on these pants. So I'm going to put a little piece of canvas ducking fabric on the back after I've darned it, and then I'm going to put the new button in that hole, and that will be this first repair. Okay, so this one is done. It turned out pretty good, actually. First one done. Next, I have another giant starchy stack of jeans. Look how flat these ones are. Crazy. These all have pockets that are coming apart in one way or another in the back. And my way of fixing that is kind of similar to what I just did with a buttonhole. I'm going to do a piece of fusible on the back and do some darning stitching on top, and then make sure to stitch around the pocket corner. And I might put an extra piece of denim on the back since this is obviously a heavily used area, and sometimes just the fusible and the darning isn't strong enough. Another note is that anytime I'm doing this kind of repair and the pockets have a brad like this, then I take it out because I need to be able to sew around this pocket. So they're just going to lose that brad because I need to get close to there, and I inevitably end up trying to sew over it and then my needle breaks. So I'm going to pop all those off, iron the back of these, put an extra little denim scrap for strength, and then reinforce those pocket corners. Okay, last pair of repairs. These are a little trickier because there's a giant hole in the crotch, as you can see, and also in the back. So same technique, fusible in the back. This hole here, I should be able to close them up enough with fusible, although I'm gonna have to tell him that these are on their last leg and they won't be able to be repaired for much longer because, as you can see, just the denim is wearing away a lot. This hole, oh no, it'll close up with fusible. I try not to add denim pieces if I don't have to because it just adds a lot of bulk, especially if it's in a crotch area. So a lot of times just the fusible and the thread will strengthen that area long enough to get a few more months or even a year of wear out of it. The other thing I forgot to say is that for my denim repairs, I love this thread from Walmart. It's Coats and Clark and it's variegated, so it has different variations in color that really blends in with a lot of different kinds of denims really well. So anytime I'm doing that darning technique, this is the thread that I like to use. Okay, my last repair is done. We fixed the crotch hole here. It looks much better. We also fixed the one in the bum area. And I also ended up fixing this one up by the belt loop. One more thing I wanted to add about the darning technique that I do is that the interfacing I use, I always use a medium to heavyweight woven interfacing. The non-woven stuff, I just don't feel like is as good for this kind of application because it's not like actual fabric. The weave of the fabric in the fusible is what helps reinforce the fabric. I feel like the other kind is just not as stable. So I always get a woven fusible interfacing. I will link the one that I use down below, as well as the denim thread that I use as well. So that is an afternoon of repairs that I'm so glad to have done. These things tend to pile up. They're like quicker jobs, so I tend to push them aside for other bigger jobs that are more pressing. So I'm glad to have these off and delivered to their owners. Thanks so much for joining me here in the studio today for a little bit of afternoon denim pants repair. Happy sewing! Bye!